Live from Mandalay Bay Convention Center. Radio Row, this is cool. Cool to a new level. Because you know how I am veteran-wise, military-wise. This is a little different. So sitting down with us right now is Slasher and Primo. How cool is that? First explain, well, it's the Thunderbirds. I guess we should start with that. Start with the call signs. How do you guys come up with it? Is it given to you? Is it like a nickname? Do you earn it, or do you just say, I'm Primo?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. It is given to you. You do earn it, and it's usually for something you screwed up early on in your career for that. Yeah.
And there's usually a large party that's involved with this, with the fighter squadron. And so for the first 6 months in your first assignment, they're looking at you, analyzing you from a tactical perspective as well as a social perspective. And over time, they're collecting stories on you. And then usually once a month on a Friday night, we'll have what's called a roll call. And at that time, that's where they bring you in by yourself. It's 1 versus 25 dudes in the squadron. And it's like a kind of a large frat party, if you will, but it's all focused on you. And then at the end of a long, arduous night, you'll end up with your call sign.
What's the process, to join one of the most elite groups, teams, in the world?
Yeah, it's a long process. So every year we switch about half of our team members annually. So the kind of concept of the Thunderbirds, we have 12 officers. So between officers enlisted, there's 12 officers, 135 personnel total on the team. 1 through 8 are pilots, and then 1 through 6 are demonstration pilots. So we go by our numbers. So I'm number 4. I'm the slot pilot. Slasher's number 3. He flies on the right wing. And we're the only 6 people in the world that can do what we do. And to get to that point, you have to be a very experienced fighter pilot. So you have to be a fighter pilot. We fly F-16s, but you don't necessarily have to be an F-16 pilot to join the Thunderbirds. For instance, Slasher comes from the F-15 from there, so that's his background. But minimum, you need 750 hours, which takes about 7 to 8 years in your career to earn. You have to be an instructor pilot. And then you have to put in an application. It takes about a year to get through. Interviews, flying interviews, the whole 9 yards. And then luckily you get selected, and we're here now.
So it's not like how some athletes get black belts.
Correct.
Not only do they get it quickly, or they just go to Kmart and buy one.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, so I've operated an F-150 before. So where does that rank
It was a
me?
video game.
Right. Like it's a truck. Where does that rank me with you guys? Like 1 through 6. But I mean, let's talk about the seriousness of what you do. Today, a military helicopter went down. Marines. There's 5 missing in California. So the gravity of what you do is extremely dangerous. What's it take to get yourself mentally prepared for that? I mean, we talk to pro athletes that have to operate at the highest level, make split-second decisions. What do you do in preparation to execute at the highest level?
Yeah, sure. It's a great question. So I think that starts off with the experience that each pilot brings to the team. So there's 10 years on average of training, and for a lot of guys, combat experience as well. And so we fall back on those experiences and lessons learned, and those are directly applicable to what we do during our demonstration. For example, in some of our formations, we're about 18 inches apart from each other. Wow. So one small little movement from our flight lead or anyone else in the formation can have some pretty drastic impacts there. But really, this boils down to the pretty intense training that our team goes through. So right now, we're getting ready to come off of our winter training cycle, which is a grind. Flying multiple times per day, 6 days per week for several months to be able to provide that in-game product that the audience gets to see.
Wow.
I asked the fighters, athletes, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about during a game? What are you thinking? What's flowing through your mind? What's flowing through your guys' minds, as you're flying at 212 miles an hour?
Yeah, 100 feet off the ground, pretty fast. So it all starts in the brief. So, it's a very structured brief, and we go by our numbers. Boss leads the whole brief, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 down the line. And every day we are pen to paper, flying through, drawing the lines for each of our maneuvers. And then once you're in the air, you're just locked in. You know exactly what the next person's going to do at the next point, and you're trying to be as proactive as possible, because it's when you're reactive is when mistakes are going to be made, and we don't want to be there.
A lot of times, fighters, athletes, whatever, again, this is a little different, fighter pilots is a little different. They talk about everything slows down. You get into the octagon, you can see everything so slowly. When you're up there flying, does it slow down because you've done it so many times? And I know this may sound stupid, but it wouldn't be the first stupid question I ask. Can you see, like if you fly over an open stadium, is it that slow to you that you can look down?
So to answer
He's
your
saying
first
that
question.
damn Navy guy, a stupid question.
It's not a stupid question.
Like these Navy guys.
So in the beginning, it's absolutely not slowed down. So you're so new to. So this is Slasher's first year, and I'll let him speak for like the beginning of training season. But once you get more experienced, you get those fine muscle memory movements. So like those fine muscles start working. You get that type 1 brain, and it becomes second nature. And that's when everything starts slowing down once you get a little bit more experienced. As far as seeing people on the ground, unfortunately, no. So, like Slasher said, we're flying 18 inches apart. So everybody is looking at Thunderbird 1. And we have a motto on the Thunderbirds called blind trust. So we are blindly trusting that everyone's going to be in position doing what they're doing. And we're not looking at the ground. We're not looking at the horizon. We're not looking at our altitude or airspeed. All we're looking at is Thunderbird 1's airplane. And that is our horizon.
Oh, wow.
For there.
Wow. It's incredible.
All right, I need to ask you this question. Do you really need to turn your cell phone off on an airplane? And the reason I'm going to ask it, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but my son went to a military school in St. Pete called Admiral Farragut, and he has a friend that became a pilot, blah, 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 and he said that he once had to use his cell phone to get directions or something. And he's like, it's really a fallacy. You really don't need it. So I'm curious, asking the Thunderbirds.
I'll tell you what, I do not turn off my cell phone when I fly.
Okay. All right. Are you guys sports fans?
I am. I'm a Bengals fan.
Okay.
I'm from Cincinnati.
Oh, nice. Connect them.
I can connect you.
Yeah?
I can connect you.
How much
That's
room
awesome.
do you have in your plane for like a joyride? If we got, let's say,
he couldn't fit in.
an Alex Kappa.
Alex
offensive
Kappa is one of
lineman.
my best friends.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
really?
the offensive lineman.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
So yeah, I can hook you up. Get you to some games.
Well, we can hook you up with our PA because we do. So in the Thunderbirds, we have this. It's a hometown hero program. So every air show we go to, we're an air show team. Aerial demonstrations is what we're like our bread and butter. But we have 2-seat models and we have single-seat models. Single-seat models fly in the demo. 2-seat models, we do fan flights for hometown heroes.
Wow.
And it's really to get our brand out there, but also
Sure.
support people who are doing amazing things for the community. So yeah, we'd love to connect. And
He's a Cincinnati Bengal. He does great things, on the football field.
How big is that back seat?
Yeah, how big? Is there a weight limit?
Yeah.
there is a weight limit. It's really for the ejection seat.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the Bengals are going to like the way you say that. Hey, will you fit in the ejection seat? Who do you guys like on Sunday?
Oh,
First,
Man.
what team?
I'm a Carolina Panthers fan.
Okay.
It's going down fast.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
well,
Actually, I'm not sorry.
Well, here's the thing. Your new head coach just came from Tampa. We're based in Tampa.
Yeah.
What a good guy.
Great guy.
I know it's going to take some time to build, but yeah, I think it'll be all right. My sister's a season ticket holder there, so.
Oh, right on.
I'm so old and old school. There was a really big rivalry between the Panthers and the Bucks for a while, due to a cheap shot by the Carolina Panther on a fair catch. And it got really ugly. But now, all the players are gone. This was probably 20-some years ago.
Sure.
So that is kind of gone. But go ahead and talk about the Panthers.
Well, born and raised in the Carolinas, so I'm just going to stick to my home roots, and that's
Sure.
who I root for. So.
Okay. So neither team is here on Sunday. So who do you
Well,
like?
The Bengals and the Chiefs kind of hate each other. So I'm going with the 49ers.
I'll probably go with the 49ers as well.
All right.
Why do I think that it's really not the team, it's what female is going to be here? Everybody,
Big news.
It is, and the thing that kind of bothers me is it's not her fault. Everybody's dumping on her, and I hate the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. Believe me, she doesn't want all that. She
Who's
doesn't
that?
need all this.
Yeah.
She's pretty popular without all this. So, John Lynch, a friend of mine, the GM of Kansas City, Donovan Smith, is on the other team, the Kansas City Chiefs, and I really don't care, but just to piss everybody else off.
You're going with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I want the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Just for that reason. What's enjoyable? What's relaxation for you guys that perform, the way you do? There's just laying around doing nothing. Is it?
Yeah, so our, if you can call it a deployment, but our deployment cycle is pretty hectic. So usually we pack up everything. We leave Nellis on Thursday. We'll get to our air show location on Thursday. We'll practice twice on Friday, show Saturday, show Sunday. We'll come back here to Vegas on Monday, practice twice here at Vegas on Monday. And then Wednesday's our weekend. Wednesday's our day off. Yeah. So a lot of laundry, meal prep, relaxing. I love the outdoors. I love hiking in the winter, snowboarding. It's kind of a bummer because, like I said, we're the only 6 people that can do this in the world. So you got to kind of be careful because if you get hurt, you're out.
No, for sure, for sure.
Well, I have 4 kids at the house, so it's usually never a dull moment. I'd like to say that I love to sleep to catch up on, but that doesn't happen in my house either. But much like Primo, going outside, going hiking, camping, backpacking, if that opportunity presents itself. But in the present moment, it's usually trying to sleep or get a workout in.
I'm sure it's leave time, military. When do you get it? And would you ever be interested in coming either to the Tampa Bay area or Orlando, going fishing at Walt Disney World? I can get you into Disney World, bring the family at today's costs. I can get you guys in to do that for free. So I don't know if you have the opportunity to get down there.
That would be awesome.
But if you guys, ever can, I'll give you my card and we'll hook you guys up.
That'd be incredible. We've got a lot of shows in Florida this year. So likewise, if you guys are ever out and you want to come to a show, just hit me up. I'll get your card. And,
okay.
We'll get you in there. You can actually see what the Thunderbirds do outside of flyovers, our bread and butter.
Yep. Very cool. What will you be doing? Final question. I know you guys are very busy. And since Stitch is here, I don't want to get beat up where he'll need to stitch me up. Did you see him in Creed?
No.
Did you watch the movie Creed?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, the Rocky Balboa, he's a big part in it. So,
cool.
What will you guys do the next couple days other than, Radio Row?
Yeah, so today was our big rehearsal day for the pilots. So I don't know if you were out this morning, but the folks in Vegas probably saw us flying over the stadium twice this morning. So that was our practice working with the production company. Tomorrow we're going to get up and fly twice tomorrow, but we're just practicing for air show season. And then we've got our ground crew all throughout the week working close ties with the Super Bowl, the production company, going to the rehearsals to really nail down that national anthem timing and everything that builds up to it, so we can put on a great flyover. And our goal is to hit the B in Brave, the first Brave.
And that's what I was just going to bring up, and I know I said last question. Hopefully this will be the last question for you guys. Talk about that process, how, you need to be where you want to be at a certain place at a certain note or in the song, and it's just as much, on the singer as it is you guys, I would assume.
Yeah, sir. So with all that planning that Primo was talking about, what's going to be established as a TOT or time over target. And that very first one, we'll call it TOT alpha. So hypothetically speaking, we'll say it's 1500 local or 3 o'clock local. So from there, we'll plan our entire day prior to that point for mission planning, preparation, briefing materials. Then we'll go into an actual brief for about an hour and some change. And then we're going to go out to the jets. And what's nice about this being in our backyard is we can take off, and within about 2 minutes, we're already in our holding location, which is about 20 to 30 miles away from Allegiant Stadium. And then from there, based off of that time over target game plan, we're going to enter more or less a racetrack pattern, hypothetically speaking. And then it's in these turns where we can use some of the avionics within the F-16, and then with updates from the ground crew at Allegiant Stadium, to either continue with that time over target or based on any adjustments, if there's any delays or if things are advancing a little quicker than what was planned, that data gets